Well, we're speaking with our night guy, Hall of Fame rock and roller, Alice Cooper. Really no introduction necessary here, but Alice, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us here in Tucson. And a few years ago, 2 years ago, I think it was, time has kind of gotten a little relevant lately with the pandemic, but I got to see you and I got to be part of the experience that is known as Alice Cooper's Christmas Pudding. It was a tremendous event. And I remember going to one of the early ones, and it has grown. So for those who don't really understand what Christmas pudding is, can you maybe describe how it started and how it's evolved over the years?
Well, Solid Rock is a teen center that we've done. We got two of them now in Phoenix, one in Phoenix and one in Mesa, hopefully one in Tucson. I'm pushing for Tucson. And what it is any teenager can come in and learn any instrument, dance, photography, art, you name it. If it's in the arts, we do it, and it's all for free. I mean, if you're any teenager at all, you are welcome. I always tell people, we don't care if you're Taliban, we don't care if you're a teenager, you are welcome. And what it does is it gives teens a real outlet. We always look at it this way. Every single kid has got talent. They just haven't found it yet. And this is the place to come and find it. So I say, come in and try guitar. If you don't like guitar, try bass, try drums, and then you walk by the art room and go, wait a minute. And the next thing you know, you realize you're an artist. So everybody's going to find their talent somewhere in there. And that's what this is about. So we have two of these open. Every year I do a big golf tournament in April. And the big show, though, is the Christmas pudding. Whereas we've been doing it for 20 years, we've had everybody from Pat Boone to Kiss, at the pudding. We have usually 5 headliners. And this year we've got Ace Frehley from Kiss, my band, Alice Cooper Band, Felix Cavallari from the Rascals. He's going to be doing all the Rascals songs. Ed Roland from Collective Soul, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray.
Oh, wow.
And Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. So it's going to be a pretty amazing night. And we go all over the place. It could be metal, it can be country, it can be, it's just a fun night. And it's basically a Christmas party.
And it's a jam session too, right?
We actually serve Christmas pudding to the audience.
Yes.
So I tell all the acts when they come in, I said, look, it's a party. Like if everybody got up and did something at a party, I said, that's what I want it to feel like. Not a concert. It's more of a party. So when you come to the pudding, you're just invited to the party.
Well, when I was there a couple of years ago, I remember seeing, I think you were playing, I think BOC was playing, and all of a sudden I look behind the stage, well, kind of because it's twirling, but I see Sebastian Bach pull out. All of a sudden I see him with a cowbell. And they're it was just like, everybody was having a blast.
Every year I try to put different people in every year. We've had Cheap Trick. We've had, just every band you can think of has come to play the pudding. Johnny Depp and the Hollywood Vampires, we played a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. The original Alice Cooper band was there one year. So I just try to fill it up with, with really interesting. One year I had Pat Boone and Rob Zombie on stage together
at the same time.
Yeah,
that had to be amazing.
Yeah, it is. And the funny thing is that since it's a party, it's sort of a mix and match. It doesn't matter. I try to put people that shouldn't be on stage together.
Well, what I noticed when I went a few times, I remember the early, if I remember correctly, I want to say you did one of the first ones over at Cooperstown.
Yeah.
And then it's been now at the Celebrity Theater. I want to say that it's been a couple of locations.
We were at Dodge Theater for a while, and then moved over to Celebrity because it's a theater in the round, and it just feels more homey. It just feels more like, everybody can see everybody, and it's less of a concert and more of a real party.
And all the proceeds do go toward the Solid Rock Foundation then?
They all go to Solid Rock so that we can continue, our programs with teenagers. And I'm telling you, we have so many success stories with kids that come in and just kind of lost, or they just don't know what to do with themselves, or they know they have talent, they just don't know what it is. And we just, bands get put together. We have guitar players that started out not knowing one end of the guitar to the other, and now they could play with anybody,
Oh,
you
wow.
know. So just come on in and it's really fun, it's just really fun.
And doesn't your wife Cheryl even have a dance studio there for kids as well?
We have a great dance studio. I mean, the girls and guys, but mostly girls. Cheryl was with Joffrey Ballet, my wife, and Haji Joe, who's the teacher there, was one of her students. And our dance program is really, really sophisticated. I mean, girls come in there and they get top training
Oh,
because
wow.
these people are the best choreographers in the world, and they start you out just going, let's see what you got, and let's work on it. So you don't have to worry about, I'm not a professional dancer. Well, nobody is. They're learning to be that.
So, and you even have, if I remember, I got a tour of there a couple of years ago, and I remember, I
Yeah.
thought I saw that you even had a recording studio to teach the kids the behind the scenes stuff as well.
That was one of the cool things. We have kids in one guitar room. Well, we have actually a lot of guitar rooms, and then we have a bass room, and we have drum rooms. And some of these kids will go in and they'll hear a bass player and go, hey, me and my buddy here play guitar. Why don't you play bass for us? And let's go find a drummer. And then we have a songwriting classes
Oh,
where you
wow.
can go in and learn how to write songs. And then once you've written your song, we have a full recording studio. And, you can go in and actually record your song. And so it's an all-purpose sort of encompassing kind of place. We're actually going to put in a black box theater.
Oh, really?
And people like Johnny Depp and people, really big actors are saying, hey, I'll come in and teach.
Oh, wow.
When you get to black box theater, so kids will start writing their own plays. They'll start writing their own bits, improv, whatever, and they'll be able to go out and perform it.
That's fantastic. And Alice Cooper's Christmas Pudding Show is one of the main fundraisers for this.
Yeah, it is. And that's what raises the money, and that in the golf tournament. Now, and the funny thing about the golf tournament is this: I invite all my friends to play the golf tournament. And so the night before, we have the pairings party outside, big like outdoor gig, big stage. And one year it'll be like the drummer from Chicago, the bass player from Motley Crue,
Wow.
the guitar player from Kiss, the other guitar player from the Doors, the Eagles guitar. And you're never going to see these people ever on stage again together, because every year it's a different bunch of people. So it depends on what year you get there, who's going to be there and who's going to be playing. Like you'll sit there and you go, I cannot believe I saw that group of guys playing together on stage.
So how do you go about, especially for Christmas pudding, how do you go about picking the acts that you want at the event?
We just kind of go through we know everybody. I mean, we know basically everybody. And that's the cool thing is we can, we had last year it was Joe Bonamassa, he came and played with Alice Cooper Band. And like you said, BOC and Extreme. And, it goes all over the place. Who's going to be there? I just kind of decide, let's get 5 acts. And I try to get acts that we haven't done already. So like this year, Tom Morello's never been there. Mark McGrath's never been there. Ed Rowland, Felix Cavalier. Ace Frehley's been there before. Ace has played with us before. But so if you were there last or the year before, you come in this year and it's all different acts.
And when I was there, sometimes there'd be a little bit of a jam session going on between the acts, and then you have the big crescendo at the end of the night.
Yeah, we have a big, a big finale where everybody gets up on stage. And on top of this, we do have a thing called the proof is in the pudding, where it's a battle of the bands that goes on for about 3 months, and it gets eliminated down to like 5 bands. Whoever wins that gets to open the show.
Oh, wow.
With all these stars. I mean, they're on stage with all these big stars. So a band will win and a single artist will win. And every year, that we have that elimination, and it's really great to see the talent that comes out of all over Arizona. Everybody comes from all over Arizona to be in the pudding.
Have you ever had any of the kids from the Solid Rock Foundation be able to get up on the stage?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We've had 2 or 3. In fact, our very first winner was Jordan Sparks.
Oh, wow. American
Who ended
Idol.
up, yeah, she ended up being an American Idol winner. And she got her start at Solid Rock.
And also one thing I've noticed about Solid Rock when I got the tour and talking to you that day is it's not just rock. It's all kinds of music.
It's everything. One year in the Christmas pudding, I mean, in the proof is in the pudding, a mariachi band won.
Oh, wow.
Because they were the best band. You know, you
awesome.
voted for not just what kind of music, it was the fact that they were the best band, so they won.
Oh, that's fantastic. And what are the tickets? I think they range from $35 to $400, depending on the seating.
Oh yeah, if you want to sit up in front, if you actually want to get spit on you from from Johnny Depp or somebody, you know, you sit right in the front. And we have auctions all night. You know, we do auctions, we do you know, all kind of fundraising for Solid Rock.
But I saw Johnny Depp painting that you guys auctioned off.
Right. Yeah, we get paintings coming in, and guitars, you know, signed by all the people in the show, you know, trips, all kinds of things we auction off.
But you know, the thing that I really enjoyed, oh, I'm sorry, Alice.
Further back you go, you know, and first of all, there's no bad seat at the Celebrity Theater.
No, not at all.
I mean, you're close to the stage no matter where you are.
Well, that's the thing that I kind of enjoyed about it is it almost feels like when you're there, anything can happen, that it's almost like this controlled chaos.
That's what a party is. Is like sometimes things go wrong, and and the audience is part of it.
Oh yeah, and people get into it.
One year the stage broke. You know, it's a revolving stage.
It just stopped.
It broke. So people in the audience were revolving the stage.
That's awesome. So again, what time does the show usually start for those who haven't been to one before?
Well, I'm sorry, bud.
Oh, what time does the show usually start? Well, if somebody's going to buy tickets to the show, what time do you recommend they get there?
Yeah, you don't want to miss any of it, you know, because there's an opening where, you know, where Cheryl and I and my whole family welcome everybody in and thanking them for coming to the pudding, and then right we just blast right off, you know, right there. We take off with. It's almost like we don't know who's going to open because we just kind of flip a coin backstage. Who wants to open? Okay, we will. You know.
And it seems like it's not like an hour and you're done. This thing goes on for a few hours.
5 hours. It ends up being 4 to 5 hours.
Wow. So they're getting their money's worth.
Nobody ever leaves. It's one of those things because you never know what's going to happen. You know, that's what makes it really fun.
Have you ever had any musicians ever show up that you weren't planning, that just, you know, somebody big that was in town and they wanted to check it out, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, how did you get here? Anything like that ever happen?
You know, we have people all the time going, I'm doing a show in town that night. So if I can get off the stage, I'll come down. And, you know, comedians, things like that, you know, and we say, just come on down, pretend it's a party, you know, and just show up. There's no set thing. It's nothing set in cement. If we have like Ed Roland going on third and he goes, I want to go on second, we go, okay.
Oh, cool.
And it's just that easy. It's that simple. And backstage is really fun because all these artists we all know each other. We've been around forever, you know, and it's fun for us because we get to see all of our old friends.
So it is like a Christmas party for you too, but then there's an audience.
Oh yeah. The audience gets to be part of the party. That's it.
So again, this is going to be on Saturday, December 4th, up at the Celebrity Theater up in Phoenix. Tickets still available. You can get them. We got a link on our website at klpx.com, or you can get them at, I believe, celebritytheater.com as well.
Right. And I've got my whole band coming in. You know, my two guitar players live in Europe, Sweden and Switzerland. So I'm bringing my whole band in. So I'll be in the show somewhere doing our set, you know, the Alice Cooper set. We just finished 25 cities. Our first time we've been on tour for 18 months. We were.
Was that with Ace?
Yeah. So I mean, it was just like we were actually giddy about just rehearsing. We couldn't wait to get back on stage.
But one thing I've known about you, Alice, is that you're a road warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And you're one of the busiest guys in the business. What was it like, just to get serious for a second, the pandemic hits and suddenly tours are canceled, everything stops. What was it like for you? Because, you couldn't get on stage for 18 months.
That's right. Our last show, the last show that we did was in Australia, in Sydney, Australia. It was Alice Cooper and Queen, 95,000 people.
Oh, wow.
In a football stadium, not realizing that was going to be our last show for 18 months. Because when everybody says, okay, things are going to shut down, I figured maybe a month.
Yeah.
Nobody, I figured this thing would be beaten in a month, and everybody be back. Nobody knew how devastating it was going to be, So finally, I went and did an album in that period of time. We did a Detroit Stories album. And shockingly, my wife comes in, she said, did you see this? And I looked at it, it's Billboard, and we debuted at #1.
Awesome.
Now, the last #1 we had was $1 Billion Babies,
Wow.
So every 48 years, I try to have a #1.
Well, let's keep that streak going.
Yeah.
So then what made you guys feel comfortable enough to start doing the tours again and start up Christmas pudding again, obviously with the vaccination rates getting higher and higher?
Yeah. Everybody got vaccinated, when we did the tour, this 25 cities we just did, we started, all the way down the East Coast. We had 52 people on the road. Every single person was vaccinated, and we got tested every single night before we went on for 5 weeks, and nobody got sick.
Oh, that's great.
Because that just shows you how important the vaccinations are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that a lot of the bands I've talked to in the past, a lot of them have, done a little bit of a quarantine. They stick within their own group to make sure.
We did no VIPs. We had no family backstage. We had, we made sure that it was a pretty tight bubble backstage. No, during the day, you're going to go shopping, you're going to go play golf, you're going to go do whatever you do. But that night you're going to get tested. So you try to keep it really low key in order, so you're not around a lot of people, and that really did work for us.
Well, yeah, because I didn't read about any stoppage of your tour. I've heard about that with a few other tours that were going on in the fall where, they had to stop it.
I was going to go back and see Guns N' Roses. They're like, some of our oldest friends. And Slash says, well, you got to take a test. You got to show your immunization, and we have nobody backstage. And I went, oh, okay. The same thing with us. We kept a pretty tight bubble backstage. So, you really can't even go back to these big concerts and say hi to your buddies.
And which makes sense right now with the state of this, and eventually I'm sure it will pass, we'll figure it all out. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be on Saturday, December 4th up at the Celebrity Theater. I love that location. That's one of my favorite concert venues in all of Phoenix.
Oh, it's really good. I've seen everybody there, from the Four Seasons to Brian Wilson to everybody there, and I am the true guy that's trying to get Tucson. I want a solid rock in Tucson.
We were talking to somebody about it a couple of years ago, going, it would be great to get a solid rock down here in the old Pueblo.
I think it's really important. I think we just got to get down there and find a big building and get all the right people in. But when we do it, we don't do it halfway. We make sure it's everybody in there is all the right people. Everybody's certified. Everybody knows what they're doing, and so that it's a quality place. It's not just a place, it's a quality place.
Now, do you have a second location up in the Phoenix area now? I know that you have
one in Mesa now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We opened one in Mesa that's really nice.
Okay.
Really nice.
I've been to the location that's up in the north side of town.
Basically, they gave us a building.
Oh, they did.
And
fantastic.
we just went in and renovated it and made it into what we needed it to be. And that's like the one in Phoenix is much bigger. The one in Phoenix, I think, is 20,000 square feet, something like that. It's pretty big size. And the other one, I think, is 16,000 square feet. So it's, that's about the size that we want them to be.
Well, and you're getting east-west there in Phoenix, because that's a big city.
Yeah.
And well, if we can get you down here in Tucson, anything we can do here at KLPX, we'll get behind you.
Absolutely. And I know that. That's why, that's why I'm telling you this, because you guys are gonna be probably helping us at Vanguard this whole thing.
If we can do anything to help with fundraising or anything like that, just get in touch. I know some of your people over at the foundation, they'll be in touch with us,
Yeah.
I'm sure, and whatever we can do to help.
Yeah, great, good. I think it could do nothing but help the city.
Oh, absolutely. And Tucson is a big supporter of, obviously, Nights with Alice Cooper. I was telling you before we started the interview, your show has been #1 in just about every demo since it debuted. What is it, 15, 16 years?
Yeah, 17
years.
years.
I was, just a little side note, I was roommates at the time with the voice guy of Nights with Alice Cooper.
Oh, right. He's great.
When Greg came in, he goes, I think I'm going to be doing the voice for a new show called Nights with Alice Cooper. And had no idea I'd be programming the station down in Tucson that runs it.
Well, the great thing is when I started the show, Dick Clark was a friend of mine. And he says, if you had a radio show, what would it be? And I said, I would take it back to the 70s FM radio. I said, where the DJ talks about whatever he wants to talk about, and he plays whatever songs he wants to play.
Mhm.
And he says, let's try it. And we have about 180 cities around the world. I'm on in Istanbul, London, all over the world, and the show's been going in London for 17 years, every single night, So, I mean, whatever we're doing, people love the backstage stories,
Mhm.
because, I tell stories about the Beatles, the Stones, the Yardbirds, the Who, the Kinks, I mean, every band you can think of, at some point I had a relationship with.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I always tell people. I go, me, I can tell you about the bands I've met. Alice will tell you about the bands he's friends with.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, there's a lot of great stories especially about, guys that you would never think, that you could be talking about the Cowsills, and McCartney and Iggy Pop and Frank Zappa and all these people. And people are going, wow, Sinatra or Elvis, they were all people that we had relationships with.
Yeah, I listened to it. Obviously, I've been listening to it since I moved down here. And then when it was on KDKB, when I lived up in Phoenix, when my buddy started the voice work for the show. And it's just amazing how big it's grown. I think I told you I was in Hawaii and I heard you there. And it's
well, my big audience is cross-country truckers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they pick up my show, they stream my show all over, and they'll be driving through the United States, and they'll find my show, and then they drive out of that, and they find my show again on another station, and they find my show again on another station.
Well, the funniest part I always get, the one question I always get from listeners about your show, and it's always a weird question, but it's something that I have to go think about it, guys. They go, hey, how is Alice on the air tonight if he's playing at ABBA? And I go, well, you don't think Friends are in your TV right now, do you? It's like he pre-recorded it and he's on tour. And I know that you actually do a lot of the recording for the show on tour as well, off the bus. I've seen, when you're on the road, or at least in your hotel room.
Yeah, we do it. Pro Tools helps us so we can go on tour and do the show. I do the show on Pro Tools.
And I see Cheryl there.
Hi, we've got another Zoom at 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I will let you go. Alice, thank you so much. Cheryl, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much.
No problem. So again, we'll reiterate, Alice Cooper's Christmas Pudding fundraiser is going to be on Saturday, December 4th at the Celebrity Theater. Hope to see you out there, everybody. Get your tickets at
Come on down. Yeah.